Welcome to On the Water Magazine's Fishing New England. I'm Jay Baver. Today we're going to learn about one of the most effective ways to catch striped bass, jigging with wire line. When done properly, this method will produce striper upon striper, and that's just what On the Water's Chris Megan and Neil Larson hoped for when they teamed up with Captain Eric Staplefeld. Then we're heading to a freshwater pond at night in search of carp with the Wazalewski brothers. Now let's join Chris and Neil as they sharpen their jigging skills and get into some serious striper action aboard hairball charters off the coast of Cape Cod.
We left Falmouth Harbor at 1:30 in the afternoon. Not a traditional time to chase stripers, but that's one of the things that's nice about Wireline. It gets down deep where the stripers hang during the bright daylight hours. Captain Eric rigged his hairball jigs and made sure to tip them with pork rind strips, which ensures action on the jig even if there's a bit of mung or weed on it. Sharp hooks are essential when jigging. Big stripers have tough mauls.
Now I noticed you got some pork rinds on here. Any particular color this time of year? What do you usually prefer?
I usually start off with 3 colors. I start off with purple, I start off with white and green, and then I just I break down from there. I see which ones take the strikes, and then obviously
Eric fishes every day, and the white jigs have been producing as of late.
Kevin's got us in a hole. We just brought up our line a little bit, coming up on an edge. We had great luck out here. You got it. Jump in. Eric, what do you do most of your homework as far as finding these holes? Is it one of those kind of hit and miss? Are you out there working different holes, or?
I find a lot of my spots when early in the morning. You'll see seagulls.
Yep.
And they'll be working the top. A lot of these fish will come right up to the top in the morning, and then they'll sound all day, and you can come back over to these spots and catch these fish later.
They'll drop. They'll stay in that. There you go. Fish on. Excellent, nice. Just got doubles there, yep. You hooked right up.
Just got that pile of fish.
You pretty much... Absolutely.
What you're going to want to go ahead and do now is you're going to want to drop on the pumping, and just slow it down slightly when you come down like that. Perfect, absolutely perfect.
Yeah, not bad,
Go ahead and do an X.
Yep.
Slow X. Yeah.
I'm just going to come over the top.
One of the things I love about wireline fishing is you are direct connect to the fish. You feel every thump, every head shake. As soon as that fish hits, man, you are connected to it. There's no line stretch. You're on.
Eric, was that coming up the back side of that, or were we just on the back side of that hole? What's nice about a spot like that is, as you just saw, you get bluefish and bass in that same hole. I mean, it looks like Neil just picked up a bluefish over there. I got a bass on here. I'm going to go ahead and walk him up the side, and I'll let you grab the...
Go ahead and clear the wire. That's the most important thing.
Yep, okay, there we go. Yep.
They don't clear that.
I thought I had. I'm going to go ahead and slide it right up. Excellent.
Nice fish to start
Beautiful
off
fish
with.
to start off.
And another thing, a lot of people work the jig hard. I take the jig out with a pop like that. You hit it real fast, it falls right out. Look at the damage, none whatsoever on that fish. Wireline, it brings these fish right in so fast, you're not tiring them out.
Taken from the same hole, you take it from the same hole, a nice bluefish in a what looks like about a 33, 34 inch bass, you know, in that class. Go ahead and vent them. We're gonna go for a bigger dog than that.
around and do it
Cap
again.
pretty much called that shot within about 10 seconds.
Nice fish.
Look at the size of this one. Oh
Yep.
yeah, Chris.
Here we go.
Taking a little drag.
Yep, right as he was dropping down, he whacked it.
The key to jigging is to find the bottom and then pull the jig up fast like a bait fish that's trying to escape. The stripers will almost always hit the jig on the way back down.
He whacked that on the way down, just like he said. Usually on these jigs, you dropping it back and
Slurp it right in on the way back.
yep. Now, one of the things I noticed you doing there, Eric, I think it's really important is a lot of people spend so much time out of the strike zone because they got mung all over the weed. And I noticed what you were doing is by pulling the line in, bringing it in a little bit.
Yeah, I'm bringing it up about a good 20 or 30 feet, and then what I'm doing is shaking it pretty heavy duty, vigorously, and then it comes
Clean that
off.
line and put it back in. There he goes. There we go. Nice head shake, huh? You gotta love those hairball jigs with the beautiful.
Go ahead and slide right up that alley.
Yeah, I'm gonna come right up. Starting to climb this size there.
Not too bad. He's probably 36 inches.
Let me go ahead and give you a little bit of line there.
Okay, now what I'm going to do here is I'm not going to sit and yank on that jig. I'm going to give it one whack. Comes
That's
right out.
excellent.
Comes right out. Nice healthy fish.
Beautiful
about 16
fish.
pounds.
A lot of these guys, you make a living at this, Eric. A lot of these folks that are watching us today, they go out jigging, they work their butt off. Jigging's hard work. It's one of the harder fishing styles that you're gonna do. If there's one single thing that you can suggest to the viewers so that they can help increase their pickups, what would it be?
For striped bass, the most important thing you can do is get on the bottom. You have got to find on the bottom, and you have to keep that jig on the bottom without getting weeds.
Now, in the first part we were doing that, what would we do? We were dropping back, hitting the bottom, finding the bottom, and then you're just pulling it up off the bottom, or you want it constantly in contact with
You
the bottom?
want contact on the bottom, but you need to not have too much contact.
Okay.
I would say you want 10 feet of contact on
From
the
the
bottom.
bottom.
The minute you get over that, you're going to start munging up, locking bottom.
So you're finding most of those strikes are coming in that first 10 feet from the bottom.
Absolutely. How many times did we lock bottom?
That's right, we
today?
did. We whack, 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 and then he pretty much called the shot.
As Captain Eric marked fish on his sonar, he would tell us when to expect a hit, and usually he was right. Eric's style of jigging isn't for everyone. It's hard work to move the jig properly all day long, but it's essential if you want to stay in the fish. We caught stripers and the occasional bluefish on almost every drift over the areas we were marking fish.
Beautiful, huh?
Nice.
Those casual on my set. Pop that.
Most of our fish were well over keeper size until the last pass of the day. That's when my drag started singing and the fish of the day hit.
See that there?
Feel every head shake right here.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice fish. Nice fish.
Look at that. Look at the size of this one.
Nice fish. Beauty.
Wireline jigging with hairball charters, Captain Eric Staplefield. This is Neil Larson for Fishing New England.
I got a quick look at it, and I'll tell you, it's bigger than any carp I've ever seen.
Interesting. Well, that's good to see because we caught a fairly nice.
Worldwide, carp are the most sought after freshwater game fish, but here in the United States, things are just getting started with carp fishing. And as I learned, these fish can be found almost anywhere, maybe even in your favorite swimming hole. During the summer months, carp become more active at night, and that's when Kevin and Steve Wazalewski invited me to go carp fishing with them on one of their favorite ponds in Rhode Island for an opportunity to catch my first nighttime carp. When I pulled into the parking lot and saw the beach with all the activity, I thought I was in the wrong spot. But Steve and Kevin were waiting for me, and they assured me this was Carp Central after sunset. Tonight, we're coming to you from Coventry, Rhode Island on a little pond, and joining us are Kevin and Steve Wazalewski. And Kevin has penned several articles for On the Water magazine about carp fishing. His first article was more about a tidal fishery, and we actually went and filmed that and had a terrific day.
We did.
You have an article coming out next month. It's about night fishing for carp, and that's what we're doing here tonight. Now, I haven't been able to read the article yet, so why are we here at night fishing for these carp, Kevin?
Well, what we find, Jay, is that carp, by their very nature, are wary and spooky fish. Under the cover of darkness, we find that they'll move in a lot closer to shore, and they'll also move into areas that they wouldn't normally frequent during the day. For example, we're fishing right to the side of a beach tonight. It sees a lot of activity during the day. The carp kind of get away from the area. When nightfall comes, they move into these areas and feed. Areas like next to beaches, along roadways, or maybe areas that see a lot of pedestrian traffic open up to us at night as fantastic places to fish for carp. In addition to that, we find that, especially in the summertime, it's a pretty warm day today. It was into the high 80s and 90s. The water temperature cools down a little bit, and that just seems to really turn the carp on.
And it looks like the last swimmers are coming out of the water
Just
here,
in time.
which means it's time to fish. So let's throw our baits in the water and see if we can catch some carp at night.
Let's look up.
All right, well, I know that you guys use a variety of different baits to fish for carp, and tonight we're doing something a little different than last time. We're using a method feeder. What is that, Steve?
Jay, what a method feeder is it's a plastic cage, essentially. It actually fits right onto the line, and you can see that this normal swivel provides a nice stop.
Normal barrel swivel?
Normal barrel swivel provides a nice stop for this method feeder. And what we do is, with this method feeder, not only does it provide a nice, about a 1 or 2 ounce weight for us to cast with, but it can also hold what's called ground bait, which is essentially a mixture of oats and other dry ingredients.
And it looks like it's pretty malleable. You can kind of mush it and
that's the whole point, Jay. We mush it right onto that method feeder.
So you split it and just kind of...
We split it. I mean, you basically just take a bunch of it, kind of like Play-Doh, just mush it right onto that method feeder, and I'll take a little bit more.
The other half?
Yep. And experience tells you how much of this to use. But that's your basic method feeder rig with the ground bait.
And this slides up and down the line, but you'll pull your line tight so that it goes next to your bait.
That's right.
And as I learned last time, this is a hair rig.
That's correct.
And the bait isn't directly on the hook. It falls right off the hook on a little piece of line, like a hair off the hook. And you've threaded a couple pieces of corn.
It's actually chickpeas tonight, Jay.
Chickpeas, oh, wow. Garbanzo beans for carp tonight.
You have to be inventive, that's right.
And so we're gonna throw this out. So this is essentially acting as a chum almost.
In a sense.
An attractant.
An attractant, it gets them in the area, and it avoids chumming from shore where you could be haphazardly getting it out there. It puts it in a nice confined area.
Great.
So,
all right, so let's throw our method
We'll try
method
feeder out.
Method feeder out with our hair rig with some chickpeas and see if we can catch a big fish.
That's the goal. Very good.
All right.
All right.
All right, fish on. Does it feel like a good one, Steve?
You know, Jay, it's tough to tell, but he is feeling like he has some weight to him.
All right, well, tell me when I should get the net. Now, this light's going off. Is that just because you're fighting your fish?
It may be, Jay, or a place like this, it's tough to tell. Once a group of fish comes in, nothing really would surprise me as far as many rods going off at the same time. This does feel like you lose your most important sense.
I'm gonna walk out here. I'm gonna keep my net in the water. Oh boy. He just took off. as soon as he saw the net. That looked like a good-sized fish, man.
Very good.
Wow, you got a good fish.
You would think.
I got a quick look at it, and I'll tell you, it's bigger than any carp I've ever seen.
Interesting. Well, that's good to see because we caught a fairly nice one a couple seasons ago.
So if this is him, he could have put on a few pounds, and he could be whopper size.
I'm hoping.
Now, when you're carp fishing, you guys have special names for everything. Do you have a special name for like a huge carp?
We do. I don't know if it's camera appropriate though.
Well, what is it?
We call it a BFC. The first
BFC. I had a big
carp.
Carp.
Big fine carp.
A big fine carp.
That's a nice.
You heard it here first. We got a BFC on Fishing New England, and Kevin right now is letting line out with Steve's fish. This is very important because the carp is caught in Kevin's line. Now, if Kevin wasn't doing that, potentially carp could pull Kevin's rod into the water. You could lose the fish. That carp swam way out.
Oh yeah, and Jay, I'll tell you, as we're talking, I'm got a fair amount of tension on this fish, and he's going back and forth at will. And I'm hoping we can get this fish in because he feels very nice.
He's right there. Look at the size of that fish. Oh, we got him. We got him.
Yeah.
He's right in front of me.
This guy is definitely ready, so it's...
All right, so we've got the carp. He's right there. Look at the size of that fish. Oh, we got him. We got him. Look at the size of that fish. Nighttime carp fishing, that's well over 15. That's probably over 20, I'd say.
Probably.
Look at that fish.
Oh, that's definitely a 20.
Perfect specimen as far as scale pattern.
This is unbelievable. Now, what you guys have landing mats for these fish?
Yes, we do.
That is a gorgeous fish. Look at this. Wow. Wow. You know what? All those people who were swimming here before, I'm not so sure they'd want to be swimming if they knew these fish were in here. And look at that, and it took the hair rig. Now you were getting taps for about 30 minutes, so that fish was probably eating that method feeder that you had packed with the soft bait.
And again, that method feeder right here, the leader of approximately 6 to 7 inches. And
It is. Look at the scales. They're perfect, Steve. There's no nicks, no scratches. This is a beautiful fish.
nice fish.
There's fish as big, or if not bigger, than the stripers you're used to catching in most of the freshwater ponds in New England. You'd be crazy not to go after these if you enjoy the thrill of battling a big fish. Let's get this scale on this big boy.
Sounds great. Now, according to this, including the mat, we're looking at about
23 and a half.
The mat's going to run a few pounds, but I would say this is a solid 20-pound fish.
Solid 20.
That's great. I think it's time for the release.
Excellent. So how do you do the release, Steve?
What I typically do is when you have a waste sack
I got you.
just like this,
All right.
you may as well keep them right in.
Okay. And then we walk it out into the water. All right, well, we got a runner here, and this is on the right-handed rod. I'm gonna, set it. Oh, yeah. Oh, all right, we're tightening the drag just a little bit. It feels like he's on there. All right. Well, I've been fishing for 2 years with you guys, which is really only 2 times, but I finally have a carp on. I don't know if I'm gonna land him, but we're gonna find out here. You never know what you're gonna catch when you're fishing in New England. He's coming right in. There he is. All right. We have a successful capture.
Good night.
Yeah.
In a very wet, swampy area.
But what a blast. You think you can get that with your hand?
We might be able to.
Oh, look at that. Came right out.
Look at that. Excellent.
Steve, why don't you come on over here? And all right.
That's a nice solid fish.
Come on over.
Okay.
I'd like to thank Kevin and Steve Wazalewski for taking me carp fishing at night. You're watching Fishing New England. Thanks for watching today's episode of On the Water Magazine's Fishing New England. For more information about today's show and to find out where the carp and stripers are biting in your area, log on to onthewater.com. From all of us here at On the Water Magazine's Fishing New England, we hope to see you on the water.